What is up, YouTube? Bobbles and Ball Cards back with another video. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Monday out there, a wonderful start to August. It's August 1st. Fresh in from the National. The missus got us some shirts and stuff from the show. Absolutely love this one. Reminds me of the Dodgers and Jackie Robinson, so I'm glad they did that. Um, I'm gonna do several different videos, I believe, instead of trying to push this all in one. You guys know I love to talk and I can go on for a long time, showing cards and everything, but I want to kind of break it down into different videos. So this video is going to be my thoughts of the show, the experience, talking about some folks I got to meet, that sort of thing, showing appreciation to some people first before the cards, because just as a initial, you know, overview and thought of the show itself, the people definitely made this an absolutely amazing time. So I want to show my appreciation to them, and then I will get into like showing pickups and all that stuff in another video. So if you're here to see the pickups and see cards, this video is not going to have that. I want to show my appreciation to the people first. Just a little bit about the show in general. You hear lots of stories about Atlantic City and everything. I had never been there before. In fact, overall, this was my first national, so that's another reason I wanted to discuss the show and all of that first. And I had never been to Atlantic City. As far as the city itself, there are rough parts, but there are, nice parts as well. The streets are, as much as we paid in tolls driving up there, I don't know why the streets and roads aren't better. The streets are rough. The city is confusing. First time I've ever been in a city where you have to go in a far right lane. Like, basically, imagine going into a pit stop on the right hand side to go down this little alleyway to get to a red light to then cross the entire intersection going left. That was very confusing. Never been anywhere like that before. But ran into that instance up there. Never had seen that. Potholes galore. There are no absence of potholes on the roads up there. People just parking right in, like stopping right in the middle of the road, putting their flashers on so they can get out and talk to somebody. That was very interesting. So, the city does have rough parts, not gonna lie. I believe it was Saturday night, maybe. I think it was Saturday night. We were like full-fledged seeing distance from like a big street ball tournament, so we had loud music going, the DJ announcer calling out the game and all that, so that was an experience. But anyway, people knew about the city and stuff. Parking was a little tricky. We got the parking pass and you had to walk, I don't know, 10 minutes. Wasn't that bad. But there was like the walkway to the show in one direction. You had to like go up in the grass around water and everything because we didn't know what that water actually was. It made it difficult, like if you had totes or something that you were rolling along because you couldn't go on the walkway. Other parking areas, there was other parking areas. I heard some people say there was like a free place that they could park. Some were saying $10, some were saying 20. There was various areas to park. If you were picking folks up in front of the show afterwards, it was a nightmare to get up there because of all the taxis and Ubers. But I guess that's, to be expected, just the layout of everything. But overall, the city itself is what folks had said. If you were there just doing your thing with friends and that sort of stuff and weren't there for like the city, I think it was okay. But it's definitely not like too extravagant. it's what folks said it was. The show itself, big convention center, laid out fairly well. I do wish that the dealer tables weren't so like split up with the corporate booths. I wish it was kind of like sectioned where it was all just dealers, and then the corporate had their area, and then maybe the breaker pavilion and the autographs, instead of having dealers and then dealers with corporate in the middle. I found that a bit, kind of annoying because as a rookie, I learned a lot of things. If you're going there for the show itself, if you're taking, like I was taking pictures of cards I thought other people would be interested in, and I should have made better notes of where the cards were. I was making mental notes, which didn't always work out well, but that's a rookie mistake. Um, if there was cards you liked, definitely write notes down just so you could go back. Also, the internet was a huge, like y'all have already heard this, but the internet was a huge factor with this show, I believe. Dealers did not really want to buy. They didn't want to trade much because they couldn't look at comps. They didn't know if you were being fair on what you were asking for a card. This isn't knocking anybody, but I do feel, and I know everybody's not going to know every card, but if it's a pretty, like an ultra modern card, I was surprised at how many dealers just they needed their phone. They needed their phone to know, like, even if the price was close, um, there was cards way overpriced that the dealers had no clue about when service finally, like if you were in a spot that you could pull service up. I spoke to a dealer yesterday that had a card priced. I was interested in two cards they had. One was they had priced at 175. The other one was priced at 150. And I told them, and the internet worked yesterday because the crowd wasn't as big. And this is just an example. This was like throughout the show, so I'm not just, you know, hitting on this dealer, but so 175, 150. The cards had recently sold for 72 and 115. So I was like, I don't want to give an insulting offer or ask you to come down way off of your listed price, but like realistically around 175, which is what one card was listed at, that would be more in a range, of what they're going for. And they understood, and they went on and looked and pulled out card ladder. And one of the cards, the one that I seen a sale for 72, it was a matter of they were looking at the card overall value, I guess, and not like what, because the card was in a slab and they weren't looking at that specific slab. They were using card ladder for just the card itself, I guess. Um, and so they were willing to negotiate slightly, but not where I wanted to be. It was still over what I could just go on eBay and buy the card for. And that was a difficult thing all weekend. So when I get into showing off pickups and stuff, I'll go over more. You'll kind of see where I played and had the most fun. It was stuff that even if it was overpriced, I wasn't going to be losing like $100 on a deal, like buying a card for 175 and finding out that it was really only selling for $75. It was stuff that, I could pick up, and if it was a buck or two off, I was going to win some, I was going to lose some, and it was also, a lot of bulk stuff, a lot of value box stuff where I could get some discounts on it. And it's stuff I like. So, as far as my experience as a first timer, and I told several people this, the National itself, and this was maybe just this show again, taking all things considered with the internet, people, the dealers not being able to see comps. Maybe it was a different show. Maybe this was just a bad way to start off with my first national experience. But basing off of this one show, the show itself is great because I loved every minute of hanging out with people, meeting people, seeing all of the different, items that were there. But as far as buying and stuff, I honestly would put Chantilly over the National for buying and selling cards. It was easier, it's easier to get to dealers' tables and actually look at cards. It's easier to negotiate. It's easier to make deals. It was easier to find things. It was, we all talk about this FOMO stuff. Something that I had in my mind, because there's so much there, is if I looked at a card and I was like, okay, I like that. Well, I always had in the back of my mind, what if like 5 rows down another dealer has it and he's a little cheaper? Am I going to spend money here and find the same thing a little bit further down the aisle, a little bit cheaper? And so that was always in the back of my mind. Um, I would look at one table and find something I like, go to the next table, find something, and there's just so much there that it's very easy to continue finding things you liked, and then you're like, the best way I can put it is like you can buy one ice cream cone with one scoop of ice cream, but you walk into Baskin Robbins and you got, what is it, 31 flavors or whatever, and you've never tried any of them, so you don't know what the best one is. That's kind of like the experience when you're like going table to table, because you're like, oh, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that. So as a first timer, and I didn't have any targets, so that probably played into it a bit more. Stuff I was looking for, I honestly I had to dig a lot for it, which was kind of surprising to me. So maybe that was just some of it too. But overall, the show, I don't regret going at all. I loved every minute of the show itself. It just can be, I wouldn't say overwhelming is the word. It's you have to learn a lot from it, and I think this one might have been a bit different because of the internet as well. And just the vibe from the dealers and knowing that some things were overpriced. So let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Trying to think here. Um, all right, tips. That's what I wanted to go into. Um, as a first timer, me and the missus both got the all access super VIP package. I'm gonna tell you, we were very disappointed. Paid up the extra money for all of that additional stuff, and was not pleased at all because really there was very little benefit to it. We did get the parking pass, however, again, we found that it was like there was one day we just Ubered. We didn't even drive over there because you start to get wound down. I didn't feel like driving one day, so I didn't want to battle the traffic and all that, so I just Ubered over. Um, a lot of the gifts that are in there, they were giving away to the general public that didn't even have VIP. The additional bonus gift or whatever that they were talking about wound up being an NFT. I didn't even go redeem it. The autograph guest list for the free autographs, I had no interest in any of them. The VIP party, we just sat there listening to numbers being called out, hoping to win a prize. Oddly enough, just about everybody that won a prize were like in the same little area. I don't know what was up with that. But anyway, I just wouldn't. I would not tell anybody, yes, if you want a great experience, pay up, spend that extra money, and get that all access package. The people who had the 5 day early entry, they got in 30 minutes early, just like the VIPs. The VIP package, to me personally, didn't really offer anything that was worth the additional price. So that's one thing I want to tell people. As someone new, I learned that. So yeah, uh, just take that for what it is. As a first timer, I wanted to make sure I had access to everything, and wound up definitely not being worth it. So um, I'm probably missing some things that I wanted to speak on, but I don't want to make this too long. And I do have a list here of folks that I want to talk about. because this is the meat and potatoes of the show for me. This was where all of my fun happened. Of course, walking around and everything was fun. But this was the experience for me that made it 100% like worth going to the national. So bear with me, and I do apologize if I miss anybody's names. The missus yelled at me. I do have some photos of some folks. I met people and I wasn't taking pictures. I'm not a selfie person. So I did try to go back and find some of the people I had met and take some pictures with them. If I forget you, please do not take any offense. That was the other thing I wanted to say. As far as video footage of the show, I did go live a couple times. I was not wanting to just vlog and everything else. I noticed when I was going live, my camera wasn't too stable because I didn't have one of them little fancy handle things. So I was just kind of holding it. So I didn't take a lot of footage or any of that stuff. I didn't have I had my old laptop there that doesn't work too well and I don't normally use for videos. So I apologize. I missed the boat on the content, but this was my first show. I wanted to take it all in and not worry about being behind a camera, so to speak. So anyway, let's get to the folks, okay? Shout out to everyone that stayed with us at the Airbnb at the house, the Bobbles house. I finally got to meet some great people. JJ, you've been a friend of mine for 2+ years now. Absolutely loved getting to meet you, hang out, shoot the shit, joke around, everything in person was great. Refractor Jones, Alex, dude, your knowledge poured over to everyone else within the house. You are a great asset to not just the Bobbles community, but the sports card community in general. Thank you for everything you did. You're just a great dude. I'm honored to know you. And to pick your brain sometimes on some of the stuff within the hobby. Get your opinions on not just myself, but other things. So thank you, sir. Big Scott, you were at the house. I wish Natsman was along the ride with you, but enjoyed hanging out with you. Enjoy when I go on your show with you on your channel and talk about everything. I loved your passion for going after your Mets run. You picked up some awesome items. Thank you, man. I really enjoyed meeting you. Sean and Julie, both of you. Sean, I've known you for a couple years now. You've been a supporter of the channel. You go after your own little thing. You have your own little style. You go after these niche, deep down in the box stuff that many people may not be looking for. I appreciate that about you because you're not going after what everybody else is going after. So mad respect there. Let's see. Rob Lanham, he was the latecomer to the party in terms of the last person that got a spot, helping us refill spots in the house when Natsman had to back out. Rob, really enjoyed the time with you. I know you got there Wednesday, so a day after everybody else, and you had to leave early to drive back. But it was a very enjoyable experience. Thank you for helping James find the Cleveland Indians card. That's a memory that James will always have. JJ helped James complete the set with the final card, so it was awesome to see the community that's been built help each other out. That was just such an amazing experience, so thank you guys. Let's see. James, you're my dude. You always come down and go to Chantilly with me. You are family. I can't say enough about you, and just again, you're family, man. You know that we talk a lot, especially every time you come down. But you brought along Shay this time, and it was cool to see the two of you together, being able to enjoy not only the show, but hang around the house. Shay was a great partner in crime with the missus. Um, it was fun seeing her open the packs and be excited. It was fun, um, seeing her want to be at the show and everything. Seeing her excitement when you completed your 56 top set. So I'm glad that we were able to be a part of all that as well. So thank you to both of you. And then last but not least, Damien, someone I did not really know anything about. He was JJ's friend that also coincidentally filled a spot that had opened up in the house. Um, Picked up some awesome cards. He picked up a awesome 51 maze, a high grade Roberto Clemente rookie, and I believe it was a PSA 7 O-Pee-Chee Gretzky. Just awesome pickups, Damien. I'm glad that you acted, or I should say acted like you joined in a group of people that had never met you before, and it was just so naturally easy that everyone just meshed together and started forming friendships, talking, helping each other out with pickups. You and Refractor attacked those value boxes. It was just an awesome experience all the way around. Seeing all of this unfold, seeing the power of building a community, building a family. So Damien, thank you for coming. Was great meeting you. And again, congratulations on your pickups. So those were the folks in the house. I'm going to go through some other folks. I know, I apologize if I miss you. This is a big list here. If I miss your name, I do apologize. From the group, Mike Krutz, I did met up with Mike, talked to him for a while. Chris Kaiser, awesome guy, met up with him a couple times, hung out and talked. Ashish, met up with him. Thank you for the deal on the Larry Doby. I do appreciate it, sir. Matt Hine, he is part of the group for Ludex, who had a display there. Matt found me a couple times. He was at the hangout over at the Sheridan. Great guy. I can't say enough about him either. He found me a couple times at the show. Just took the time to talk, hang out. Made the experience great. Let's see who else here. Tony Moore. I met him. I believe it was one of his friends. I apologize again. I'm probably leaving names off of here. So I met up with him. Let's see. I'm just gonna start going down this list. Dave's Midlife Card Crisis. He's on YouTube. Go check his channel out. Me and him sat at some value boxes. I don't even remember what day it was. Friday, I think. I think it was Friday. Me and him sat at some value boxes. Probably 2 hours, and just started digging through them. Ran into him a couple times. Great dude. Got to talk to him a lot more. Discuss a lot about cards, the hobby, life, and all that. So really enjoyed that. Andy, she blinded me with refractors. He came up to me a couple times, and just it was like he had known me. And to be honest with you, there's folks that came up to me, or that I went up to them, that I was shocked even knew who I was. Let alone that they watched the channel or enjoyed the content or any of that. This was a big motivation bump for me for the channel itself. Because, again, I didn't know Andy even knew who the hell I was. So, Andy, thank you, sir. Really enjoyed, talking to you a few times at the hangout, everything else, man. Thank you. The great one, those back pages. Such a nice guy. Congrats on your Honest Wagner pickup. He was at the hangout. and I'm sorry, my voice is kind of struggling right now. But those back pages, I seen him for the first time. I have such an appreciation for that man and his content and just the way he approaches this hobby. The first time I seen him, I was actually sitting down. My feet were hurting. I had my little stool out, sitting there and taking a break. I spotted him. I folded my stool up, chased him down the aisle, and I told him, I was like, look, man, I'm too old to be running after people, but you were someone I definitely wanted to meet. I seen him again yesterday, got a photo with him, and again, talked to him for a bit. So, Eric, those back pages, thank you, sir, for your time. Mike O, another great content creator, someone that I highly respect. He's in our group. He does group submissions for SGC. I get on and, when he goes live, talk to him and everything. But meeting Mike was great. I seen him, I think it was Wednesday, gave him a parking pass. We had an extra parking pass, gave him a parking pass. Ran into him yesterday with his father. And also seen him over at the Hangout. Me and him walked over to the Card Collector 2 trade night. I was only there for a few minutes, but he had some stuff he was trying to sell. But I went over for a few minutes and walked over with him. Mike, baseball collector from Bench Clear. I met him. Thank you, sir, for your card and the autograph. We were sitting at the bar during the meetup at the Sheridan, and he signed his little card and gave it to me. We didn't get to talk a whole lot. He was a busy man. But thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Dr. Beckett, I seen him yesterday, got a photo with him, but I also seen him at the Sheridan Hangout. I was honored that he was so appreciative of a couple cards that I got. It literally made my day and made me even more confirmed that the way I'm going about the hobby and things I pick up, I'm going about things the right way. To see that man, the legend, Dr. Beckett, look at my cards, and in fact, there's other people on this list that were like oohing and eyeing over them that I didn't think would, like, I don't know. It was just shocking to me. I'll show those cards off when I do the pickups video. But yeah, Dr. Beckett, he's a legend, and I was, it kind of like just made me smile that he really appreciated my pickups. So I met Rob a couple times, one time with Refractor, and then I seen him again yesterday. He could hardly talk, poor guy. Rob, the card father from Burbank, thank you for taking time, sir, to talk to me. Thank you for everything you're doing or setting up through Alex Refractor Jones, for Mason Forelli. Still got it on Team Mason. So thank you, sir. I did run into Neo. I seen him twice. He found me at the show. I was standing at a table. He came up to me, said he heard my voice. Funny thing is, so many people said they recognized me because of my voice. I did not know I had such a unique voice, but I guess that works for me. But he came up to me at the show. I kind of joked with him. I said, hey, you need to do a breaking news video, and tell everybody, hey, I met Bobbles and we didn't fight. And then I did see him at the trade night for just a few minutes, but didn't see him a whole lot, but did see Neo. Dustin, the sports card dad, I seen him again at the trade night. I actually went back over with Rob. Rob messaged me and said, hey, Dustin's over here. He was wondering where you were. He wanted to meet you. So I went over there. Rob showed me where they were sitting at, and I was able to pick up some cards to submit for Dustin. Got to meet him, talk to him for a little bit, along with Neo, as well as Flipping Steve was at the table. Wasn't the first time meeting Steve. I met him in Chantilly, but I did see him again that night. And then Steve actually seen me yesterday when he got to the show, and came up, talked, said hi and everything. So it was good seeing Dustin as well as Steve. Elite Hunters, he has a YouTube channel as well. Most of these people are on YouTube, so go check them out. Elite Hunters came up to me at the hangout at Sheraton. He's another one that said he recognized my voice and that he thought I was younger because he said I have a young voice. So I don't know what that is. I'm hoping that's a good thing. Um, I told him I do look older than I am, but I'm not that old. I am good old 42 now. So Elite Hunters, nice meeting you. Lou Rock TV, cool guy. I did again, someone I didn't know had a clue who the hell I was. He's another one that really appreciated the pickups I had. He's actually the one that showed him the mic and then Dr. Beckett. So I was just like, wow, these guys actually really like the stuff I'm picking up. So that was cool. Brian Roth, met him, talked to him for a few minutes. It's nice meeting him. Guy loves his vintage stuff. Bob Lewis, he found me a couple times. Dude, Bob, thank you. He gave me his phone number. We snapped a picture. I texted to him and everything. Cool guy. I was on the lookout trying to help him find what he was looking for. He was trying to find a Randy Moss refractor rookie or a Beam Team members only Shaquille O'Neal. We talked about Shaq for a little bit. He was wearing a Lakers Shaq jersey. So, Bob, thank you. I seen him again yesterday too. Every time he seen me, he wanted to stand and talk and everything. I really appreciated that because again, he's someone I didn't even knew who the hell I was. So, thank you. Wesker Griff, I ran into him. He was looking for Sotos. No surprise. We talked about what he was looking for. He was looking for a bat drop Soto or a Stadium Club Soto Shuffle. We discussed a few other Sotos, the trade, that sort of thing. Wesker Griff, I hope you found your cards. I did not ever see those at the show. So I'm thinking that those are buried in collections. I'm glad I have both of them. But hopefully you found them, sir. Victor, rookie card specialist, he gave me his quote unquote. I had to ask him, is this his rookie card or is this his first Bowman? Or is this just his Bowman rookie? But anyway, Victor, I've seen him several times. He made a little cameo in one of my lives I did at the show. Great guy. I've had him on. Love talking to him. Awesome people in this community. Scott Rappaport, those of you that don't know him, he does a podcast. He also is an SGC bulk submitter. He told me something that blew my mind because I did not realize it. I don't know where he got the data from, but we were talking about, group submitters. He was actually back talking to Aaron with Slabstock. So I talked to Aaron as well for a little bit. I kind of said, hey guys, I don't want to interrupt, but I hear y'all talking about SGC. Thank you. Because I've been preaching SGC for 2.5 years now. I'm glad to start hearing more people in the hobby talk about them. I'm glad to see them everywhere. You're seeing them at trade nights and dealers showcases. People walking around with the SGC tuxedo boxes. Great. I love it to know. Been around for a long time supporting those guys. And everything I was saying is kind of coming to fruition. So I joined in, said, hey, I don't want to interrupt. We talked for a while. Scott told me something that kind of blew my mind. So about our group sub. So it's nice to know that other people see the hard work we do and everything. So anyway, let's see. I seen Prism God, said hi to him. I actually, funny story, I met him at Chantilly. They were set up there before he ever did Culture Collision or anything. Before he burst onto the scene with that show in Atlanta. Met him at Chantilly. Really nice guy, down to earth, great guy to talk to. Let's see, who else do I have on here? Jay from Mojo Sports, Mojo Autographs. I seen him at the lobby of the Sheraton and talked to him for several minutes just about some life things and about the hobby and other stuff. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate the time that you took out of what you were doing to talk to me. Let's see here. I met Dave, the owner of SGC, talked to him for a while. I love dealing with those guys down there. Did meet Peter and met our rep. Hung out with those guys for a while. Seen them on several different days. I didn't want to go over there and just like hang out at their booth and bother them. So I went over early. Like I seen them Tuesday when I dropped some cards off. Went back Wednesday, talked to him for a while. I'm trying to think. I only went over a few times. Didn't like take away from what they were doing. I wanted other people to be able to have the chance to talk to them and everything. They were getting cards submitted and all that sort of stuff. But Peter, Dave, Brian, thank you guys for all you do. I really, really do appreciate all of it. So I was glad to finally meet them in person. Brad from PSA Canada, I ran into him at the trade night. It was funny. He put our little sticker on that we had made up. Obviously, he's a PSA bulk submitter. It just kind of goes to show, like, we could, just laugh and joke. He goes on Carlos's channel. I got to talk to him the last time I was on there. So it was cool meeting up with him, face to face. And it was cool that he was in, good spirits, could joke around and put a sticker over the PSA logo. So, don't tell PSA. Let's see here. Who else? I think I have covered everybody. Again, if I did not have you on the list and we met, please know that it was a special moment. And everybody was important here. It's like a long list. I tried to remember everybody that I met, got to talk to, had interactions with, got to talk about different things in the hobby. So I am getting older, and my mind doesn't always remember everything. There was a lot going on, a lot of people, a lot of great people in this hobby, in the communities. All of you guys that stayed at the house, though, you made this week an absolutely freaking amazing time. It was so cool to enjoy all day at the show, but then come back to the house and just relax, talk about the day, talk about things we've seen, talk about just life and other things in general with people that I became close friends with just through this camera, this microphone, Facebook, Instagram, and finally get to meet in person, hang out, and just chill for a week. So, is the National worth going to? You bet your ass it is. I don't care if you pick up one single card. Just going, meeting folks, hanging out, having great conversations, being around people that have the same interests as you, you can't beat it. So, that's all I have. I said I was going to try to keep this short, but I have talked a lot. It's almost 40 minutes in. If you made it this far, thank you. Please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Share it with folks to make sure, or even if you don't share the video, tell them, hey, Bobbles mentioned your name. Talked about how much enjoyment he had with you. So thank you guys. I will be doing more videos. This is definitely gave me some motivation. Knowing that so many of these people do appreciate, do watch, and did know who I was, just reaffirmed that obviously got to be doing something right. Because those are some big hitters on that list. So, again, thank you all. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, and until the next video, I'm out.